What's up, everybody? Gerard here, as always, with your 3T Podcast official YouTube channel. SummerSlam weekend is over, and if you want to check out our reviews from everything from the G1 to SummerSlam and everything in between, including the Young Bucks' final indie appearance at NXT TakeOver Toronto, check out our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and TuneIn. Part 1 is up now. Part 2 should be up by the end of the week. So if you want to hear our dedicated reviews to those and so much more, check that out. But today it's Wednesday, which means we're doing our quick take reviews, the good, the bad, and the ugly of WWE programming this week. As I mentioned, SummerSlam weekend's over, and now we're on the road to Night of Champions, or I guess they changed it to make it sound a little cooler, Clash of Champions. Every title will be on the line. Pretty solid build-up. I'm hoping for this pay-per-view, a lot of potential championship matches to look forward to. Now for Raw, the ugly, the Ricochet versus Elias match was dookie. Yeah, uncharacteristically performance from Ricochet. Looked a little sloppy and uncomfortable in the ring with Elias. I like both of them as performers. I don't know if it's a chemistry thing or just a bad night. Hopefully it's not a sign of things to come for both guys. Now for the bad, I didn't like the whole AJ and Seth theme of the show that they built up to. Unless they're doing a winner-takes-all scenario where one belt's on the line, the other belt's on the line, then it's okay. But to have the champion fight the other champion on free television isn't really an exciting thing. It just felt like they were trying to waste television time here, fill spots, and it didn't really come off well on TV. The match was okay at best. I think, as I mentioned on our podcast, recent episode, I think we've seen the best of AJ Styles. He's on the tail end of his career, which doesn't mean he's bad or he's a trash wrestler. I just think we've seen the best of him. Now for the good, there was a lot of good on this episode. First, check out McIntyre versus Alexander. Awesome match from both guys. Probably Drew's best match on the main roster by far. Now, they highlighted this episode. I know everyone was talking about it. I think it should have closed the show. Was the Natalia's promo where she talked about her father passing and her arm being in a sling and stuff from the Disarmer. Then Sasha Banks came out. Looked like she was going to cut her promo and then went bam and smoked Natalia. Revealed blue wig. I don't have blue hair. I mean, probably could have done it for the content, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and had a very good heel beatdown. Becky came out. She caught a beatdown. Looks like we're getting Sasha versus Becky at Clash of Champions. Potential main event of Clash of Champions for me. I think this would be another opportunity to give the women another main event. That being said, between the ugly and the bad things, there are a lot of things that are more nitpicky for me. I'm going to give this episode of Raw 6.5 out of 10. Okay build up for everything. Didn't really give much in the terms of building towards Clash of Champions outside of the women's title. Hopefully that's a change going forward. Now, for Smackdown I thought was a little bit better. Yeah. I really enjoyed this episode from top to bottom. Once again, I'm going to go ugly here. Not a fan of the Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens promo to start the show. I thought we were kind of done with the Kevin Owens Shane thing. Clearly, that's not the case, right? And then his match with Samoa Joe, it was okay. Once again, Elias interfered. Elias is kind of the, the goon or the lackey of Shane McMahon, and he's at his beckon. Not really a fan of it at all. I wish they would stop the angle altogether. I think it'll be best. It's helped Kevin Owens as a babyface, but it hasn't done anyone else any favors, and the crowd kind of tunes it out overall anyway, right? And now for the bad, we really didn't get much from the tag team division per se here. I like that they have the New Day being featured with the tag titles, but it's a Raw tag team that looks like they're going to be getting a title shot. I think they need to build the rest of the SmackDown tag team division up a bit here. If not, it's going to seriously go. Now, for the good here, I liked the whole Buddy Murphy-Roman match. Awesome match. One of Murphy's best matches so far. That's probably top. It's pretty much a very good match with Roman, too. Roman's had classics with other guys. He made Murphy look like $1 million. He used the Kamagoye and the V-trigger during his match. Clearly someone's watching the G1. But very great match. Go back and check that one out for sure. I like the stuff with Daniel Bryan and Rowan with him also. Personally, I hope it comes out that Murphy was the one who was targeting Roman. think that would be a very interesting way to do it, that he's been lying and conniving his way through to try to get away with it. Now for this episode of Smackdown, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I wasn't bored throughout. I didn't try to fall asleep throughout. There wasn't really any low points for me personally, which is a good thing for them, right? And I think SmackDown's starting to get a little more consistent. Now, one thing I want to touch on that affects both shows is they're leaving off on cliffhangers a lot more now. With Braun Strowman handing Seth the title, you're wondering what Braun Strowman's intentions are. And then on SmackDown, you have Roman facing off with Daniel Bryan and Roman in the locker room with them saying, next week I'm going to reveal who attacked you, right? So when you're doing all of that, it's very interesting. It gives me a reason to want to watch next week's episodes. Also, King of the Ring is back. It's going to start on Monday on Raw, and the finals will take place at Clash of Champions. Early pick for me is either McIntyre or Cesaro. I think both those guys could do well with a King gimmick if that's where they want to go, and I think both could use a big tournament win. That's all for our review. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll have links to our social medias below. As I mentioned earlier, check out our podcast. We have a review coming up for SummerSlam and NXT, which is part 2 of our SummerSlam weekend review. Part 1's up, G1, Bucks, all that cool stuff. And that's all for now. I don't really know what to say right now. I plugged the podcast, plugged our social media. Oh, we're on the WrestlePost app. Oh, forgot one more thing. You can buy our t-shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees. Search up Through the Table. Support the page. Get the bills paid. Yeah, so that's all. Tune in for our next video. And that's Gerard signing off for the 3T Podcast official YouTube channel.